Reacher Season 2 ending, including Langston and Swan's fate, explained the Season 2 finale of Reacher premiered Thursday night on Prime Video and did not disappoint. Picking up with a time jump of over 2.5 years after the first season's finale, Reacher, Alan Ritchson, is once again traveling the country on his own without the burden of personal belongings weighing him down. That is except for a toothbrush, of course. When he receives a coded message via his bank account from Neagley, Maria Sten, he discovers their friend and former colleague, Franz Luke Billick of the 110th Special Investigators Unit, has been killed under horrendous circumstances. In an effort to figure out what happened, Reacher and Neagley begin their own investigation and eventually reunite with Dixon, Serena Swan, and O'Donnell, Sean Sipos, the only other members of their former unit they managed to successfully contact. As their investigation widened and they attempted to contact the other surviving members of the 110th, they discovered Sanchez, Anders Colantes, and Orozco, Edson Morales, had met the same fate as Franz. Swan Shannoncook, on the other hand, remains missing. The team then learns about Swan's employer, New Age Technologies, and the software the company developed for surface-to-air missiles, a program known as Little Wing that has the ability to defeat anti-missile systems. When it's revealed the head of security at New Age, a former dirty cop named Shane Langston, Robert Patrick, is selling 650 of the missiles to dangerous people, the mission of the 110th turns into something bigger. Reacher Season 2 is an explosive conclusion. The show's penultimate episode saw Dixon and O'Donnell captured by Langston, forcing Reacher to devise a plan to save them. Calling on Senator Lavoy, Noam Jenkins, who pushed Reacher toward thwarting Langston and Little Wing, Reacher enlists the services of the senator's private security team. With their help, Reacher and Neagley execute a plan to save their friends. When a firefight breaks out, Langston and his goons make a break for the helicopter where they've loaded Dixon and O'Donnell, both of whom are still strapped to a gurney. Reacher eventually frees himself from the handcuffs he's in thanks to a nail he hid in the bottom of his boot, before joining the gunfight and heading for the helicopter. As the chopper ascends, Reacher manages to jump on its wheel and makes his way inside when Langston opens the hatch to toss Dixon out. As she careens off the edge, Reacher grabs the gurney she's strapped to before she's able to free herself, climb up, and kill Langston's final goon. Without much hesitation, Reacher throws Langston out of the helicopter, giving him the same death Langston inflicted on his friends. Without Langston, the threat of Little Wing still exists when Reacher and the others learn from the helicopter pilot that they are headed to the house of a New Age engineer, so he can show the buyers how to put the software into the missiles via a New Age microchip. The missiles and the chips have always been separate until now. When the 110th arrives, they kill the buyer and use one of the Little Wing missiles to shoot down the helicopter with its pilot and New Age engineer inside, essentially tying up any loose ends. To protect Lavoy from indictment because of his connections to Little Wing, his private security team turned their guns on Reacher and the others. However, just before they pull the trigger, Reacher informs them that Lavoy wasn't the only person he called to help them out. He also calls Omar Karim, Abraham Asto, from Homeland Security, who shows up just in the nick of time, and promptly arrests Lavoy and his security team. Season 2 of Reacher comes to a thrilling conclusion with a gripping finale that not only ties up the central plot, but also offers shocking revelations about key characters, including FBI agents Langston and Swan. The season builds on the tough, lone wolf persona of Jack Reacher, played by Alan Ritchson, a former military policeman turned drifter who, wherever he goes, finds himself in the middle of trouble. Based on Lee Child's beloved books, Reacher Season 2 delivers its signature mix of brutal action, suspenseful mystery, and clever twists, leaving fans eagerly awaiting more. Season 2 Overview: The Big Conspiracy. The main storyline of Season 2 revolves around Reacher being drawn into a conspiracy involving corruption in the highest levels of government and private enterprise. The show follows him as he uncovers a powerful criminal syndicate that spans from local thugs to influential political figures. Reacher is hunting for the truth behind a string of murders and illegal activities involving drugs, weapons, and human trafficking, all tied to a larger scheme. As Reacher digs deeper into the case, he crosses paths with two key FBI agents, Agent Langston and Agent Swan. Initially, their roles seem ambiguous. Langston appears to be a straight-shooting, no-nonsense investigator, while Swan is more morally gray, appearing to have questionable motives. As the season unfolds, Reacher finds himself both working with and against these agents as he tries to uncover who he can trust. Langston's fate, betrayal, and redemption. Agent Langston, played by a new but well-cast actor, starts off as a by-the-book FBI agent assigned to investigate the same criminal syndicate Reacher is tracking. At first, Langston seems like a potential ally. He's dedicated, methodical, and has a reputation for rooting out corruption within the Bureau. Throughout the season, there's an undeniable tension between Reacher and Langston, as they both aim to dismantle the conspiracy but clash over methods and jurisdiction. However, in a twist that catches viewers off guard, it's revealed that Langston has been compromised. His spotless record and hard-nosed reputation were built on the back of a secret connection to the very criminal enterprise he was supposed to dismantle. His involvement with the syndicate isn't out of greed but out of coercion. His family had been threatened, and Langston found himself in too deep before he could pull out. In the final episodes, Langston's double life comes to light, but his betrayal isn't complete. Once Reacher confronts him, Langston reveals the truth about his predicament, leading to a tense standoff. Ultimately, Langston chooses to redeem himself. In a self-sacrificing move, Langston helps Reacher gather evidence to bring down the syndicate, even though it means he will have to face justice for his part in the corruption. In a gut-wrenching scene, Langston dies in a firefight while helping Reacher take down the syndicate's enforcers, his final act one of redemption. Swan's fate. Unexpected twist. While Langston's fate hinges on redemption, Agent Swan's story takes a different, more unexpected turn. Swan, from the outset, is portrayed as someone who plays by their own rules, willing to blur ethical lines if it means getting results. Throughout the season, Swan's actions are frequently called into question. He's seen dealing with shady informants, going off book, and making deals that seem to benefit him as much as the investigation. But Swan's true motives remain a mystery until the very end. As Reacher uncovers more about the syndicate, it becomes clear that Swan has been playing a long game, one that neither Langston nor Reacher initially understood. In a stunning twist, it's revealed that Swan was actually working undercover, embedded within the syndicate under deep cover for years. His morally ambiguous behavior, which initially made him seem untrustworthy, was all part of maintaining his cover and gaining the trust of the syndicate's higher-ups. In the final confrontation, Swan plays a pivotal role in dismantling the criminal organization from within. His years of infiltration provide Reacher with the key information needed to expose the syndicate's leadership and bring the operation down. However, Swan's actions come at a cost. After his cover is blown, he narrowly escapes death in a dramatic showdown, but he is forced to disappear from the public eye, leaving the Bureau to question whether he will ever be able to return to his old life. Reacher's journey. A hero emerges. The season ends with Reacher walking away from the chaos, but not without scars. The deaths and betrayals of Langston and Swan weigh heavily on him. He may have brought the syndicate down, but the personal cost is significant. As always, Reacher avoids the limelight, preferring to slip away and continue his nomadic life, knowing there will always be another fight around the corner. Season 2 of Reacher ends on a bittersweet note, balancing action and